Join us on today's unforgettable adventure to one of the most remote and breathtaking places on Earth. We begin at Cape Horn, where rugged cliffs meet the turbulent ocean. Then, brace yourself as we navigate the legendary Drake Passage, known for its fierce storms and powerful waves. Finally, experience the serene beauty of Paradise Bay, where towering glaciers and crystal clear waters create a truly magical landscape. Let's set sail and explore. Day 6. It is 6 o'clock in the morning and we're at Cape Horn, a place synonymous with hardship and danger. Located on the small Hornus Island, Cape Horn is hugely significant. Its discovery opened up the trade routes, and despite the Suez and Panama canals, it remains the fastest route round the world. The weather here can be treacherous and is liable to change very, very suddenly. At this time in the morning, the light does some truly incredible things as it rises above the turbulent ocean.
So beautiful, so rugged, very cold, freezing. And the sea's quite rough. But still, it's an amazing time, and I'll probably never come again. Get the opportunity to come again. It's rather beautiful. The wind is unbelievable here. Oh, there's a lull. Oh, God. It's so cold, and the wind is just howling. I'm slightly sheltered from it. Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I'm going to turn it round. Oh dear. That wind, when it starts and it gets going. It's really quite an amazing place here, though. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a bit of a lull and then it starts going again. Oh my goodness me. Oh, it makes all your eyes run. Oh, I've got mascara everywhere. Oh, amazing adventure this is. So if you ever get the chance to come to an Antarctic cruise, do, because it's amazing. This is one of the best holidays I've ever had, I think. Oh, patio furniture's going. Sun's shining on that rock over there, it's amazing.
Well, the wind managed to break the lock on the interjoining door, and as you'll see in a minute, it was just flapping in the wind till we could get maintenance to come and fix it. We had probably taken the view that Cape Horn was a necessary route to our Antarctic trip, and as such we totally underestimated how brutally beautiful it was. It wasn't quite as packed as I expected it to be. Maybe there aren't that many early risers, or maybe most people were admiring the views from their cabin. The light here was truly incredible, and it changed so many times during the course of the hour that we spent at this particular location. You could see the sun breaking through the clouds, and on other occasions you'd see these superb changes of colour, both on the island and also in the sea itself. Wow, this is incredible. A double rainbow at the ends of the world, and it was there for a split second. The light just kept on changing. By the time I'd filmed this and done a shot for another lady, it had changed.
See on the television here, gives you all the information, changes. That's the view from the front of the ship. Handy having this TV so you can see where you're going and where you've been, and the places all around.
Every video we watched on YouTube tells us how rough Drake Passage is, how likely it is to get seasick. So we brought along every single seasickness remedy that you could possibly imagine, tablets and ginger chews to name a couple. However, this was one of those rare occasions and we didn't need them. Drake Passage was, whilst a little rocky, nothing like the YouTube videos we'd seen. The eclipse remained rock steady. Anyway, we circumvented the Drake Passage over a couple of days, taking in the night, and we awoke on the morning of day 7. We were still in the passage, albeit at the Antarctica end. So our first morning in the Antarctica, and it's very misty. So we're now at the end of Drake Passage and actually in the Antarctic, and the weather has changed quite considerably from where we left Cape Horn.
And here we are in the Antarctica, and it's snowing. It's great. My phone's ringing, it's vibrating. I'm going to have to go and answer that in a minute. But anyway, this is what it's like. Fantastic. Freezing cold. It's supposedly 5 degrees with a chill factor of -2. And it's great. Snow in Antarctica. Wonderful.
We haven't seen snow for ages.
I know. We live in Devon. We don't get snow. It's very nice. It's lovely.
It's not too windy, actually.
It's not too bad. It's very cold though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. We've seen some icebergs, but it's a bit misty.
And
so,
they're a bit off in the distance
yeah,
as well, the icebergs.
But,
I suspect we'll see a few more later.
Yeah. We emptied the pools and everything because it was a bit rough earlier. Drake's Passage. So, yeah. I'll fill those up again though.
This type of cruise is so dependent on the weather, and one time you can go and have a completely different experience to another occasion. So on the first morning the mist was actually quite dense and it was really difficult for us to see much. We wondered if this was going to be a sign of things to come.
don't know if you can see behind me. You can see the ice that's forming. I don't know if you can. It's great here, I love it. Cold, snowy, lovely. Stevie, he's taking some photos. As we get nearer to where we're going, there's more and more ice. I've just got a load of snowflakes right in my eye. It's going to be attractive.
So the plan is that when we get nearer the Antarctica landmass, the ship will actually turn right and go down Schollaert Channel. The channel is actually named after a Belgian statesman, Francois Schollaert, and was discovered by the Belgium Antarctica exhibition in 1898, led by Schollaert. As you can see, the amount of ice has increased and we're getting some relatively small icebergs at this stage, but every nautical mile that we go, the number of icebergs increases and also the size. And as the mist lifted and the sun came out, you could see that these icebergs had some really rich blue and turquoise colours to them. The Schollaert Channel goes between Anvers Island on the southwest side and Brabant Island on the northeast. That meant that there was always an interesting land view, whichever side we looked at. This adventure booked for well over a year, and it's something that we both wanted to experience. An expedition ship would not have been an option either for Joanne or for me, so this cruise provides us with the ideal opportunity to explore this incredible place. One of the things that both of us like to do is to experience nature, and to do that actually within the place that nature had intended. At one of the early enrichment talks, we were told that the first time you saw a whale, everybody would rush to take a video, and that by the end of the Antarctica cruise, we will get so used to seeing whales we'd just take them for granted. And indeed, that's what we found to be the case. No, on this cruise we didn't get any videos of full breaches, but we saw numerous whales during our travels. Joanne actually had a super experience with the whale surfacing just below the cabin when she was out on the deck. She could actually hear it blowing out water immediately below her. Anyway, by the time she'd looked down and seen the whale, it was too quick and it submerged before she got her camera out. I guess you just have to accept that you're in the moment, and the really important thing on these cruises is to take it all in, enjoy that time and the moment itself. Slightly cold from our experience on deck, we decided that we'd make our way back to the lift and up to the room, whereupon we saw some rather enthusiastic aerobics taking place. As we travelled along the channel, we came to appreciate the changing weather. It provided a lovely contrast and a means to see Antarctica in its different moods. There were also less people on the deck, except when you had some of the big ticket item experiences like Paradise Bay and Elephant Island. A lot of the time we found that the decks were quite empty, and it was nice just to go for a wander, get a little bit of exercise and take in those incredible views.
Amazing.
It is amazing how the scenes change depending upon what the weather and light are doing. You certainly see lots of different sides to this remote place. On occasions it comes across as bleak, others almost magical as it's shrouded in mist, and then you have the epic times as you take in the size and rugged beauty. A full range of emotions, and yet we have the benefit of photography and television to set our expectations. It is very hard to comprehend the emotions of those brave explorers who pushed the boundaries and experienced it for the first time. On board the Celebrity Eclipse with us, we had a resident naturalist, Milos Ratakovic, and he gave commentaries focused on both the scientific and wildlife aspects about what we were seeing and observing. These were broadcast on the internal to the ship loudspeakers and not broadcast on the open deck system, and that was to avoid noise pollution. You could easily hear these when you were in the room or about the ship. During the voyage we also had a number of enrichment talks. These were very interesting and included a session that was for only retreat guests, and that was held in Michael's Club. There were also films being shown in the central area, and these talked about the wildlife, giving us perspectives on what to expect and what we were going to see during our time in Antarctica. Some of the enrichment talks and films were also available on the in-room TV channel as well. I think Celebrity got the balance really right here, because for those of us that were interested, we were able to understand a lot more about what we were seeing and the places we were going to. You also had a number of ways to consume that content at times that suited you. We are continuing along the channel, and when I reminisce, I think this was the time I enjoyed most. Yes, Paradise Bay and Elephant Island are absolutely incredible places, but we saw more wildlife in a much more relaxed environment travelling to those places than when we got there. Whilst you could take the view that once you've seen one iceberg, you've seen them all, however, we quickly appreciated that there were significant differences in shape, size and demeanour. Yes, we would both like to have gone on some of the land masses and experienced that side of Antarctica, but neither of us were fit enough to do that, so this trip represents a brilliant compromise and gave us a unique experience that we enjoyed. Antarctica is a special place. There's no time, no currency and no indigenous people. There's no government, and yet government exists, which has been signed up by all the nations, restricting the number of ships and landings in the region. I don't believe for the whole time that we were actually in the Antarctica region did we see another cruise ship or indeed any other ship. You can understand why these controls are needed to protect this unique environment. We thought that the weather was harsh, windy and cold, but remember, we are going at what is the end of the season, Antarctica summer. you can only imagine what it would be like during Antarctica winter. As is usual on a cruise, we got the full range of daily activities, including quizzes, competition and events such as safe archery. I actually managed to hit a bullseye. Unfortunately, an enthusiastic greeting between two friends meant we didn't capture it on video, which is a crying shame because I never hit bullseyes. When we went up for lunch, we caught sight of an iceberg floating past the window with 5 penguins on it. And here's another one, but this one's only got 1 penguin. Enjoying it? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, great, fantastic. One of the best holidays ever.
We also loved our cabin on the corner of the ship. It was great to wander out on the balcony and have views on 2 sides. It gave us a clear view of the environment. It can get quite cold and, as you see, extremely windy. So it was nice that when you wanted a break from the deck, you were able to sit inside and relax in the room. Maybe listening to The Notorious or one of the enrichment films. We could then pop out and experience it firsthand. As we came closer to Paradise Bay, the weather changed and it became very misty and difficult to see further than a few feet in front of us. However, as before, the weather changed. The mist slowly lifted and somebody turned the lights on, and we were in for some awesome scenes. We were here for about 90 minutes. The ship rotated on its axis to give everyone good views. As you would expect, the decks were absolutely heaving with people when we got to Paradise Bay. Indeed, it was quite difficult to take video there, as there was a fair amount of jostling going on as everybody tried to get their best view. I was lucky on a couple of occasions, and one of the things I decided I'd do was to not only show the backdrop but also to show some of the passengers, so it gave people a sense of enormity and scale of this beautiful place. Paradise Bay was named by the whalers who used to come to this area over a century ago. They deemed it to be so idyllic here that it was worthy of the name. It is one of only 2 harbours used by the cruise ships that come to Antarctica. Indeed, you can only really get here by ship. It is a natural harbour with jagged rock-like chunks of ice overlooking a placid bay. Whilst there is marine life here, it wasn't as frequent as it had been on the channel coming in. One of the things that I started to appreciate on this cruise was the level of impact that man is having on the planet Earth. My Apple Watch records as one of its metrics the respiratory rate and shows me the number of breaths per minute that I'm taking. For the whole time that we were in the Antarctica region, my breaths per minute significantly reduced from what it had been previously. Now I can only guess that that is because there is significantly less pollution in that region of the world than anywhere else, and therefore I was having to take less breaths in order to get the same amount of oxygen. So for us these days, life is about experience and being able to truly appreciate this fantastic planet we're on. Unfortunately, when you're younger and probably more able to do these types of trips better, life sort of has a habit of getting in the way. However, we've had the opportunity at this time in our lives to see and experience this wonderful environment, and it's not something I would want to miss. So to end this day, we decided to take ourselves down to Luminae and enjoy another fantastic meal.
Just put the lime over. Nice. Tangy.
Tangy, did you enjoy it?
Nice. Okay.